Hello again, CSCI-150 students. This recording will focus on two concepts from the reading. So again, as usual, make sure you complete your Zybook reading and assign exercises before you watch the video. The topics are strings, and as we shall see in this video, strings are slightly different than types we've seen before, namely numbers, in that strings are viewed as collection of letters as opposed to simple values. And then we'll also touch upon the concept of random integers. The first two parts in this exercise, the one that you're seeing right in front of you, will focus on strings as collections of characters, and then the third one will use random numbers. So what we have right here at the top is a variable called alphabet, which is equal to a string containing all the letters in the alphabet. As we said last time, and you're comfortable with at this stage, we could either use a single quote to put the characters contained in a string or double quotes. It doesn't really matter as long as you are consistent. So you cannot mix and match. The first problem that we have right here is we're asked to write a print statement to display the value of string variable alphabet along with its length, for which you will need to use function length. So we need to display the value of variable alphabet and its length using the length function. So that would be something along the lines of something like this. So we're going to print meaningful statements. So I'm going to say length of, and then here is where we put the string is, and here is where I'm going to put the actual length. So I'm going to follow that with two values. The first one is the string itself, so that would be alphabet, comma, and the second one will be the length of the alphabet string, so that would be the function length followed by the parameter, which in this case is the string alphabet, meaning that I want you to apply this length function on this string. You could give it any string and it'll tell you how many characters there are in that string. And then once you're done, you need to close that string. So we should, of course, expect a specific output. In this case, we know what we're going to get. It should be the whole list of characters, and then the length should be 26. So it says the length of this is 26, which is great. The next problem, it says now ask the user to enter a character location in the alphabet and print the character at that location. So if the user enters 0, it prints A. Remember, locations or indices in most programming languages, including Python, start at 0 and not at 1. So if I print 0, I'll get A. If the user enters location 1, that would be B. And if they enter location 25, that would be Z. So in this particular case, what I want to print is something like the following. So we're going to say print. Okay, we're going to say letter at, and then a given location is, and then that would be the character, and then dot format. Okay, letter at, and then I'm going to say char location, so that would be at this specific location. Okay, what would be the character there? To access a specific character in a string, you use the string name, alphabet, and then follow that with square brackets and indicate which index you are interested in. So if I put 0, for example, it's always going to give me the letter A. If I put 1, it's going to give me the letter B. But in general, if I wanted to give me the location, the character at the input location, I put variable input location instead. So let's run the program again. I'm going to input 0, should give me A, as you can see at the bottom. Run again. If I input 1, should give me B. And if I input 25, will give me 0. Of course, you should be curious enough and ask yourself, what would happen if I enter something that's outside the boundaries? I'll let you figure this one out on your own. This is a topic that we'll touch upon later on. The last part, this is on random integers, which is something you're going to need for an upcoming lab. You're asked to uncomment this piece of code over here, which says import random. As you're probably familiar with the keyword import, it allows you to import a library of functions. In this case, is the random, so that we can call functions from that particular library. Random int, the function random int generates a random number between minimum 0 and maximum 2. So you get to specify whichever range you want, and then it prints that. So I can run that as many times as I want. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to comment the previous part of my program so that I don't have to see the output every time. And then if you want to comment multiple lines, by the way, we talked about using pound for a single line, but if you're commenting multiple lines, you could just put 3 single quotes, and that would basically comment multiple lines at the same time. So let's run the program. I don't know if you can see that. Probably can't. Okay, here we go. It generated the integer value 2. Now it generated the integer value 0. It generated the integer value 1. So it's going to keep basically generating random numbers between 0 and 2. So what we want in this case is we wanted to generate a random number between 0 and the length of the string alphabet, and then we want to use the generated number to display the character. So back to actually what we what I printed before. Okay, I'm going to use now char location over here. That would be a random number between 0, and now I want it to be the length of the alphabet. So between 0 and the length of the alphabet. But I don't want to include 26, because 26 is not a valid index, right? Because we start at 0. So that would be the length of the alphabet minus 1. So letter at this char location now would be, so it's exactly like before, but now instead of the user entering the value, I'm randomly generating it. Okay, so the first example, it generated the index, let's see what's that, the index 1. So it said the letter is B, and then generated 9, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. So that would be correct, because again, we're starting at 0. 17 will be R. I'll let you count that. So you keep doing that. It's going to keep generating random integers between 0 and 25, and then basically displaying those characters for us. That should be all for this video. Stay tuned for some more interesting stuff in Python in upcoming videos. Thank you much.